May is Mental Health Awareness Month in the US. Here in the UK, we have 1 week in May for mental health awareness. And funnily enough, that is the week where we've got SATs, GCSEs and A-levels. What's that telling us? It shouldn't just be in May. 50% of adult mental health illness starts before the age of 15. How do we deal with that in the workplace? And 1 in 4 of us will experience at least one mental health problem in 1 year. In this room, there's about 40 people, so that is about 10 of us. And 3 in 4 of those have no treatment at all, and between 8 and 12% of us here in the room, so about 4 of us, get depression in any year. So what does mental health mean? It's a person's condition with regard to their psychological and emotional well-being. Very different with first aid if you've broken a leg. How are we dealing with this in the workplace? We need to have first aiders supporters. So let's have a look at these words. What jumps out at us? Some of these words are quite surprising with regards to mental health. Words like suicide, bipolar, anorexia, they're all part of mental health. And how is this affecting our workforce? What's the cost to us? It's huge. Over £1,000 for every employee. How big is your organisation? If we've got 10 people in the organisation, that's over £10,000 per year for each employee. I'm going to give you some case studies. So often it's just brushed under the carpet. These are real life case studies and the names are changed. The first person is a friend of mine called Nick. Years and years ago, he lived in London and he decided to join up with the Territorial Army just to help evacuate people from London. He got called to the front line. He saw so many things happen. Left a wife with 2 kids back at home. Not to our surprise, he came home, couldn't cope with work, couldn't cope with marriage, couldn't cope with children, went through a divorce. His workplace then stepped in. They helped Nick, helped his wife, and now they're actually back together. They're still divorced, they're back together and they have a happy family. We want to be a workplace who work with people to help them, because if our mental health is right, we're so much more productive in the workplace. On the other hand, we have Trish. Trish, her husband decided to tell her he had been having an affair for 9 years when their 3rd child was 3 weeks old. She didn't cope. Her 3 children didn't cope. Her workplace didn't step in. Her eldest son has anxiety issues anyway before this happened. Second child, the daughter, was a bright, fantastic girl at school, did really well, anxiety and depression kicked in, still doing her GCSEs. Trish is still struggling. She had to leave work, she's now on benefits. Work didn't step in. We need to step in the workplace. We need first aiders, as Alex has said, his wife's just been on a course, because we want our staff to be thriving, not just surviving. Because if they are just surviving, how's our productivity? How are our profits? How are people actually working effectively? So the Mental Health First Aid Certificate is a qualification through Mental Health First Aiding England. It's a 2-day certificate and it's all about the 5 steps that I'm about to go through on how to really assist people on the first aid level. We're not here to fix the problem. So step number 1 is to recognise the signs. Recognise people like Nick, like Trish, that there are signs there that are affecting their mental health. And once we've recognised the signs, we can actually be confident to step in. Sometimes I recognise the signs and I think, am I confident to actually step in? Now I am. What do I say? How do I get to that confidence? How do I actually approach the situation to get the person to open up? So step number 3 is about approaching the situation. How do I get them to open up? How do I get them to the stage where I can listen non-judgmentally? Because the listening stage is the most important stage. It's not like active listening that we're taught in recruitment of how do I actively listen to clients and candidates. It's listening non-judgmentally so that people can actually speak and open up. Because the next stage that is so important is signposting them. We are not here to fix the problem. We're here to signpost them to the right people so that then the right people can fix the problem. It's like if somebody broke a leg, we wouldn't be fixing the broken leg. We've got to get policies into place like we do for first aid. Thank you.